Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
We were attacked by Hamas on our National Day, Jerusalem Day.
Israel has enabled the erasure of Palestinian life.
Israel has the right to defend itself.
Palestinians have a right to survive.
So we call on Hamas to end the rocket attacks immediately.
To work towards sustained calm.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome in. New week. Tom and Benny is back. Tax season is subsided for a while anyway. So he's back for a couple of days here. He's going to be taking off towards the end of the week, recuperating from an intense tax season. The problem with your tax deal this year was you had to do everything twice. They changed the rules in the middle of the game.
Yeah, and it's been like that for last year. I mean, going back to last year's deadline extended, and then with so many things with the payroll protection program, so many special credits and business issues related to the pandemic. It's been kind of a challenging.
Well, welcome back. The big news today: all the eyes of America, or at least the conservatives of America, will be on Greenville, North Carolina, on June the 5th. Big news today, former President Donald Trump will deliver the keynote address to the dinner on the evening of June the 5th. That's the Saturday night of the North Carolina Republican Party convention. He'll be addressing the crowd at 6 o'clock, live and in person, so we hear. And to talk about it, Sarah Newby, who is the political director for the North Carolina Republican Party. And yes, by the way, she is also the daughter of North Carolina Supreme Court Chief Justice Paul Newby. Sarah, welcome back. Good to have you with us.
Hello. I'm honored to be back with you all.
Well, this is big news. Donald Trump coming to Greenville, North Carolina. I understand that ticket sales have spiked today.
Yes, sir. We have been swamped all day. It was a very exciting announcement that we were able to make this morning to our delegates and alternate delegates attending the convention. And there has been so much enthusiasm about President Trump coming back to North Carolina and coming to our convention to address North Carolina voters.
I'm thinking this is probably going to be the fourth or fifth time he's been in Greenville. He was here when he was running the first time, then he was running the second time. He was here twice.
And he was in Kinston.
He was in Kinston before that. He likes Eastern North Carolina. Sarah, where did this originate? Did you contact him or did they contact you? How did this all work out?
Well, we have been working to get surrogates to attend our convention. We will also have Governor Kristi Noem. It's just a great opportunity for our delegates to hear from people outside of North Carolina that are going to bring enthusiasm to the Republican Party and get everyone excited going into the 2022 election cycle.
Now, if you are a delegate to the convention, I'd assume by now you've already had to sign up. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is correct.
Now, when you were with us last time, though, you did say that there would be some room for for visitors to see President Trump. But at this point, I would think it's going to be standing room only, isn't it?
So as of right now, the dinner is closed to our delegates and alternate delegates. If that changes, we will make an announcement. But as of right now, it is a closed event to everyone.
Okay. And how many delegates are currently signed up?
We have a record-breaking number. We will have probably 2,000, I think. We will also have that's not all in person, so we will have a virtual option as well.
Okay. And that's open to anyone, I would assume.
To our delegates, yes.
Oh, okay. Now, what's the capacity of I ought to know this. I live here in Greenville. What's the capacity for a dinner at the convention center? Do you know?
I don't know. I've been to events 1,500 plus before.
Yeah, so we will, following the guidelines, we will still be in our capacity. We have a cap for the dinner. So we are working with the Greenville Convention Center to set that all up.
Now, I understand there's also going to be a reception prior to the dinner. Tell us about that. And I'm assuming that's a big buck affair.
Yes, sir. So we will have a VIP reception prior to the dinner, and that is also a ticketed event. So that's a little bit of a smaller event, a little bit more intimate with President Trump.
Kristi Noem was announced probably a month ago that she would be coming and addressing the crowd. And I would say, I hate to say she's going to be upstaged because you were telling me earlier today she's your personal hero. But I think people will probably be really excited to see Kristi Noem and hear her speak, but hear her and Donald Trump in the same event, that's a pretty high watermark.
Yes, sir. So I do love Kristi Noem. I went to NC State for agriculture, and my family has a farm, and Governor Noem is also a farmer as well. So love that. Governor Noem will be speaking at our lunch event on that Saturday.
Okay.
And so we bumped her down to that lunch, and then President Trump will be speaking for the dinner. So we feel like we have a very, very strong lineup for our Saturday speakers.
I think that's the understatement of the year, maybe.
I mean, the icing on top is that we have our Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson speaking Saturday as well.
I tell you what, this is going to be a huge event. I mean, you're talking about it. Now, obviously, it's a lot more condensed, but this has got the excitement of a national convention.
Yes, sir. We are very excited. Last year with the shutdown, we had to make our convention all virtual in a matter of probably about a 2-week span. And so to have this opportunity to hold an in-person event, we are really looking forward to it and really hoping that this will be a great opportunity for the Pitt County economy and the Greenville economy and help these small businesses that have been closed for so long due to the shutdown.
For sure.
Sarah, this has been obviously two big names at the convention with President Trump and Governor Noem. But as we head into the next election, all eyes are on the North Carolina Senate seat. And I was just noticed on the website today, we have Congressman Ted Budd and Mark Walker attending, but I did not see Pat McCrory. Will we see an appearance from Pat McCrory?
Good question.
Yes, sir. You will see an appearance from Pat McCrory. I actually got him confirmed today, and we are working to get his picture up there. So you will see him at the convention.
Nothing yet about Laura Trump?
No, sir.
I mean, is that something that y'all are pursuing, or are you waiting for her to contact you?
Since the Republican Party doesn't get involved in primaries, or the North Carolina Republican Party doesn't, we've chosen to not get involved with those. We are standing on the sidelines right now.
Okay. But I would assume if she wanted to come and say hello, you'd welcome that, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir. So we are allowing, we would allow her to speak, and we're also allowing all of our U.S. Senate candidates to speak.
Okay. All right.
It's a blockbuster lineup,
yeah,
really. I mean,
it really is. I mean, it's a really good lineup, even if you removed the president and Kristi Noem. I mean, that's a good lineup, just with the ones from the state. But my goodness, when you top it off.
North Carolina has so much to be proud of with our elected officials.
I understand Dad's going to be there too?
Oh, yes, sir. He'll be there.
You didn't have any trouble lining him up, did you?
Not too much trouble. Just a text.
All right. Listen, we're excited, and we need to talk about maybe doing a live broadcast from the convention.
I think that's a really good idea.
All right. Well, I tell you what,
let's definitely talk about that.
All right. We'll do that. We'll be in touch, and look forward to having you and the president and the governor and a lot of other dignitaries in Greenville, North Carolina. It's going to be an exciting time. Look forward to it. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, it kicks off that Thursday night, right? That would be June 3rd. Sir. All day Friday, all day Saturday, and I guess a lot of folks will probably stay over Saturday night and head back home on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Great. I mean, this is great for the economy and great for conservative values.
Great for Greenville. I mean, Greenville will be jumping with this, and if East Carolina happens to host the baseball regional, that's the same weekend.
Oh,
so
Yeah, I've heard that there's a lot going on in Greenville that weekend.
it could potentially be a big affair in Greenville.
This is not only going to impact the hotels and restaurants in Greenville, it'll impact the hotels and restaurants for probably a 50-mile, probably pretty much in our whole listening area. There'll be people driving up from Wilmington probably, or over from Raleigh. Hey,
absolutely.
Sarah, great to have you with us. Thanks for the info, and I'll give you a call soon. We'll see if we can set something up.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. Thanks, Sarah. Sarah
Thanks, Sarah.
Newby calling in from North Carolina Republican Party headquarters. Exciting. I mean, this really is exciting. This is big stuff.
It really is a big deal, and even if you're not a conservative or not a Republican and a Democrat, you got to be happy for Greenville.
Oh yeah,
because these are big names. I mean, Donald Trump kind of pushed it over the edge, but I mean, it was a big deal with Senator Noem Governor Noem being here.
Well, don't make any plans for the 4th and the 5th. We might be doing a Saturday edition of News and Views from the convention center.
Well, let's shoot for a prior to lunch interviewing Kristi Noem. How about that?
Listen, I'm going to let you take the lead on that. Benny has been all about Kristi Noem coming to Eastern Carolina for a while now. Am I saying anything out of school there?
She's impressive.
She is impressive.
I mean, look, my wife knows I'm a happily married man of 30 years.
Oh, my.
But in my younger days, and forget the morals.
Wait did he forget the morals?
Well, I mean,
come on, man.
Wait a minute.
No, I mean,
does your wife agree to that statement?
I mean, in my younger days, pretty much anything short
You're digging a hole. You better stop digging while you're ahead.
Anything short of gasoline and matches, she probably could have talked me into it. But anyway.
Yeah, I think. Let's take a time out. Lots more to talk about. Love to hear from you. 561-8255. A lot to talk about this hour. We'll be right back.
And we're on location at one of my favorite places in the whole planet because this is some of the best food you're ever going to eat in your life. We are at Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. It's one of my hangouts. It's one of the places that I love. I got my friend Pietro Passalacqua. How'd I do?
You did great.
Let's talk about the food. What makes this place? I know it's special Italian from authentic Italians, but tell us why it's so special.
Because everything we do, it's really what we came up on the menu from what we did at home, from my grandparents, my parents. So it's exactly what we eat at home, and that's the way we cook. That's why it's special.
And the atmosphere in this place is special also. From the bar to the two dining areas. You got two different dining areas, and now the weather's nice, so there's going to be a lot of folks that want to eat outside.
Yeah, we have two rooms. One room is designed a little different. We're also working on the patio to make it more attractive and more useful in the summer with a cocktail service. And we're always improving our services.
And, of course, my friends here, my buddy, Chef Massimo, who I love, and Sal and Pietro, you guys do a great job here. Not just Italian, but I had a great pork chop here the other night. You got great steaks, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're also adding filet mignon in the future on our menu. And Massimo is coming out with a really good side dishes for it. And so we're really excited to come out with new meats and fish dishes.
All right, Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Same people that give you Marabello's and the great pizza that you get at Marabello's, but this is fine dining at Nino's. If you haven't been here, you don't know what you're missing. Come see them at Nino's on Red Banks Road. And Pietro, what is that famous saying about Nino's?
The food that you enjoy with people that you love.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's.
This is your Drive at 5 and ENC with Tom Lamprecht. Welcome back to News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome back in. 20 minutes past the top of the hour. Already getting phone calls in asking if the convention is going to be streamed. And as Sarah Newby just told us, it sounded like the entire convention would be streamed for delegates. I didn't get the impression that you're going to have some sort of password to get into it. However, I would think that Donald Trump coming to speak to the North Carolina State Convention, I wouldn't be surprised at all if C-SPAN or some other organization like that were to either televise it or stream it.
Well, unless he does something between now and then, I mean, this is the biggest deal so far since he's been out of office, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, what else has he? I mean, he's done some TV like Hannity appearances and things like that, but he really hasn't done a keynote speaker type situation yet, has he? That I can remember.
Not that I remember. The discussion we just had during the break was, okay, is he in, or is this just a let's help the Republicans take back the House and the Senate? I think that's what he would say. I think he'd say, I'm getting involved, and because he said that all along, with his new website and his constant texting and emails.
Yeah,
but
we get a lot of them.
like 8 times a day. But I think his official answer would be, no, I'm here to help the Republicans take back the House and the Senate. But I think there's good possibility he's looking at 2024.
Well, definitely, if he's not in, he will be a part of who is the nominee.
Oh yeah, if he's not the king, he'll be the kingmaker.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Taking a look at your weather forecast, mostly cloudy tonight, a low around 58. Tuesday, partly sunny, high near 80. Tuesday night, low around 57 with partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, a high near 84. Lots of sunshine. Actually, we need the rain. I was talking to someone yesterday. I think we've only had like an inch of rain total in the last month.
Well, we had such a wet winter, and completely unscientific. But I always say that nature has a way of correcting itself.
Well, it's overcorrecting right now.
And it's overcorrecting now. So,
WITN News is reporting that Pasquotank County District Attorney says he'll discuss Tuesday the results of the SBI investigation into the Andrew Brown Jr. shooting. Brown was shot on April the 21st as deputies were serving a search warrant on his Perry Street home in Elizabeth City. Andrew Womble, the district attorney, will hold the news conference tomorrow morning at 11 in the Public Safety Building in Elizabeth City. The news conference comes a week after the Brown family and their attorney watched police video of the deadly shooting. Attorney Chance Lynch said Brown was ambushed. That's questionable word used there. And at no point did they see him pose a threat into any law enforcement. Well, he's backing his car into him. Then he put it in drive.
Well, I've said all along that we just need to be patient, let the investigation process go through, and not have any preconceived notions of what happened. But to me, last week was something a little telling last week when the family viewed the full video. I can't remember how long it was this time. But they came out and had a post-viewing press conference, but
it was pretty quiet.
Pretty quiet.
Yeah. I noticed the same thing. The story just disappeared.
Completely disappeared.
Yeah.
And
WAVA out of Norfolk and Virginia Beach, they've been on this thing from the get-go. I mean, they've had really good coverage. Last week, they had nothing on it. Mm-hmm. Nothing on it.
Well, I think that's a little telling to me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Maybe.
I agree. First in Freedom Daily, and Clark is going to put this up on our webpage, encnewsandviews.com. They've got an interesting story, and there's a video on there. Look, I am not a 60 Minutes fan at all. I think 99% of what 60 Minutes puts out is just propaganda for the left. But they had an interesting piece that really was bipartisan, didn't have any political agenda. It was on UFOs, or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. And this is worth going on our webpage and taking a look at the 60 Minutes video. Again, it's on UFOs, but a lot of it centered on UFOs off the coast of eastern North Carolina. Is it, China with some high-tech kind of spy vehicle, or Russia, or is it something that the United States is experimenting with? Again, it's hard to go into a lot of detail to describe this, but we invite you to go to our webpage or go to First and Freedom Daily. They've got it. It's their lead story this afternoon. It's interesting, but what's even more interesting is over the weekend, and it was interesting that this showed up in today's First and Freedom Daily, because over the weekend, Benny and I were talking about this before we went on the air. Did you see the objects in the sky? There was a small dot in the sky, and sitting in Greenville. It would be almost due east, 110 degrees. There was a little dot up in the sky that was not moving. I mean, it looked like, the moon would have moved more than this did. I'm guessing it was a satellite. I'd be curious if any of our other listeners saw it. But then there was another, and some people said, "Is it a balloon?" Well, this thing never moved. It was in the same position for probably. My son-in-law saw it about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were just casually looking up at it. Got binoculars out, and we're looking, and it didn't move. It was there until the sun set, and then you could no longer see it. But then there was another object down towards almost due south, a little west of due south. There was another object. Now, this one did slowly move. Whether or not it was a weather balloon or not, I don't know. But you couldn't find WITN ran a real brief story on it over the weekend, but there wasn't a lot of news on it, although the people were apparently calling it. I'd be curious if any of our listeners saw it and any of them have any insight to what it was. I'm not a conspiracy theorist when it comes to UFOs, but
Clark, now would be a good time for that music from what was the weird show that used to come on?
Twilight Zone?
Yeah. X-Files. There we go.
Clark's always on it.
It could be Bill Gates, and his climate, his theories on changing the climate. I've read all sorts of things about.
Maybe that's the hole in the ozone.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe that's what it was. It's the hole in the ozone.
Or were you smoking a little weed this weekend? Kidding.
I was on good behavior. I really was. WITN News is reporting 3 teenagers have been charged with a Friday afternoon shooting in Greenville that led to 2 more shootings the next day, all gang-related, according to the police. The original shooting happened about 2:45 Friday afternoon on Kennedy Circle, where a 17-year-old boy was shot in the stomach. The shooting happened right behind South Greenville Elementary School. Police say the other 2 shootings were retaliatory. A woman on Haven Drive was hit by a stray bullet around 12:30 p.m. Saturday, while that night 2 others were shot nearing Pitt and Brown Streets. Police say none of the injuries was life-threatening. 3 14-year-olds involved in a shooting.
Sad.
It is sad, but I was on my soapbox before he went on. I don't know that there is an easy, quick well, I know there's not an easy, quick solution, but part of the solution has got to be something towards keeping the family unit intact. Mm-hmm. Now, they're saying this is gang-related. There's 2 gangs. One was the 1700 gang. The other was the 300 gang. Young men are looking for leadership. They're looking for family. And when the family's not there, they turn to gangs. When they don't have male leadership, they turn to older gang members. And am I overly simplistic? I don't think so. I am really headstrong on this. That there was a story out today. Joe Biden wants to start sending checks out, beginning sometime this summer, $300. 88% of the families in the United States supposedly will get these checks, $300 per child. Now, this is just the beginning of the minimum guaranteed income. I promise you, it's just going to. You don't have to ask for it. You're just going to get it. And now, A, can Joe Biden do this on his own? B, where's the money going to come from? But if you're going to give money away, could we somehow give an incentive, either a reward or, for that matter, let's have a punishment for men who are going out and fathering children but not taking in the responsibility of raising the kids?
Mm-hmm. Well, we talked about, I don't think we talked about it on the show, but I talked with you a couple of weeks ago about a Bob Woodson with the Woodson Center did a speech at Hillsdale College. And, of course, he's a black American, and he talked about, the whole critical race theory, the way the Democrat is pitting people against each other with race this and race that. But he talked about this, and when I heard this story about these three 14-year-olds, I thought about what he said. And these are statistics that are, factual statistics. In inner cities, the number one cause of death of teenagers is gun violence.
Yeah.
In southern Appalachia, the number one cause of death is opioid use.
Right.
In the Silicon Valley, the number one cause of death of teenagers is suicide. 7 times the rate of everyone else. And what Bob Woodson says, our biggest problem is a morality issue.
Yeah.
Taking God out of schools, out of families, a family issue. So it just really saddens me to see 3 14-year-olds charged with this. Is just
and they've ruined other people's lives, but they're ruining their own lives. 5618255. Who do we have, Clark? Bruce. Bruce is on the line. Hey, Bruce, welcome in.
Hey, Bruce.
Hey, thank you. Well, I saw 2 white dots yesterday, and I live here in Amarillo Isle.
Now, what direction, Bruce? What direction were they?
Well, like 110, but they were in the western part of the sky.
Okay, to the west.
So, like, if due straight up is 90 degrees from the horizon on the east, so these are like at 110 and like 130. But I looked into it and I did some Googling and some research and stuff, and from what I can tell, they're balloons that are with a Wi-Fi platform on them. It's a project called Loon, L-O-O-N. It's probably an acronym for something. And they've been spotted the last year or two over Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
So is somehow the radio is keeping them in place? Because the ones I saw never moved.
Well, I know. They don't move. And I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. I'm like you, but I don't know how they control them. But at 60,000 feet, I mean, they're above the airlines and stuff. So anyway, that's what I discovered. I don't know if that's completely true or not, but it kind of jives with all the other reports I've heard about.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
I'm going to have to ask a couple of pilot friends of mine. I'm sure they always follow the skies.
Oh, yeah. Someone knows the truth. I don't know. I speak the truth, but I don't know the truth.
Well, they must be pretty big objects if they're 60,000 feet, and you could see them with the naked eye.
Huge things.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Well, thanks for the update, Bruce.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you the number one cause of our problem: fatherless homes.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we were just talking about.
Statistics. I know you have, and I listen to you guys all. Anyway,
you're right.
I'm a great father, and hopefully I'm a good father. But you look at the statistics across the board of every community. They've increased dramatically since the early 60s, and I think that's our problem.
Oh, and that's the number one contributor to poverty. If you're a single mom trying to raise a kid, the chances of you just suffering in poverty, and unless you've got grandparents or other relatives that are going to help you up, if you're on your own, it's going to be a tough road to hoe.
Well, if you look at the data, it's more than poverty. It's drug addiction,
right.
Alcoholism, crime, depression, suicide. It just all is there for a fatherless home.
Yep.
Regardless
exactly right.
of race or economic.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a racial issue. That's a moral issue.
That's the real problem. So let's try to figure out how to solve that one.
Right. Well, unfortunately, the government goes in the wrong direction on these things. They never go in the right direction, and it's been happening since FDR. That they're subsidizing single parents.
I couldn't agree with you more. I just didn't. Well, how do we solve it?
It's a moral problem. To be honest with you, it's going to take divine intervention. I think it's going to be a great awakening or something to that effect that wakes us up. I mean, I suppose individuals might wake up to the realities, but as a society, are we going to keep going down this road? I mean, what's the...
Well, it takes strong leadership, but if you're a good leader, you're always attacked.
Oh, yeah. You're mocked, you're attacked. Exactly. I mean...
Weird. I mean, the media is, well, you can't depend on them for the most part.
Well, Franklin Graham speaks out on moral issues, and immediately he's attacked. Now, I mean, that's not going to stop him.
Anyone's attacked. Yeah. Even anyone that speaks out is attacked.
Yeah.
Well, not to get political.
Anyway, okay.
Not to get political.
So thanks, Bruce.
Not to get
Appreciate the
political
call.
on the topic, though. But think about it. You know, the modern day Democrat Party, you always are playing the victim. You know, it's a victim thing, and you look back at John F. Kennedy, 50 years ago, when his speech was, ask not what you can do for, not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Oh boy, times
imagine
changed.
that if a Democrat said that in the Democrat Party now, he would be run out of the place.
Exactly.
I mean,
trying to look for this. There was a good. Here it is. There was a good op-ed that you sent me today that appeared in the Carolina Journal by Brian Balfour, and he's talking about how Joe Biden. And see if you can find this and put it on the website, Clark. Carolina Journal, Brian Balfour. It's an op-ed piece that he wrote. But the crux of it is Joe Biden is coming out right now and under the umbrella of I'm the compassionate one. I'm the one that's going to hand out the goodies. And by the way, this idea that he's going to start giving $300 to every kid that you have if you're in a certain income bracket, and it's going to start sometime this summer, supposedly.
July.
That is very controversial in the sense that he is buying the next election.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So he's going to offer you $300 per kid, but this mean Donald Trump, if he runs against me, he's going to take that away. I mean, it's beyond comprehension.
I've always said when you give away so much, when one party gives away so much, and then all of a sudden the other party says, "Hey, we can't afford this. We got to take it away." Who the heck you think is going to win?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought from day one this was a step towards guaranteed income. All this stimulus in the first round and second round, third round.
You did. You said
it's
that.
A step to
you said that several
income.
months ago. But his point is that in order to pay out all this money and the trillions that they have paid out and the trillions more that they want to pay out, I mean, what's the debt now? 28 trillion?
28 trillion, yeah.
I mean, Brian Balfour just comes out and says, how are you going to pay for this? Well, you're not going to pay for I mean, we don't have the reserves. We don't have the cash.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to sell the Grand Canyon National Park or Yellowstone?
Well, sell it to China, I guess.
I mean,
or, China doesn't have to attack us. They can just foreclose on us. But the amount of money that we are printing, Brian makes the point that, and you're already seeing it. You've seen house prices go up in the last year by 11%.
Yeah.
You've seen gasoline, regardless of the Colonial Pipeline shutting down, you've seen gasoline increase. I mean, it's the first time in 7 years that it's above $3 a gallon. You can thank Joe Biden to that.
Food prices up 7% this month.
So who is going to get hurt as inflation kicks in, which it is here, folks. It's not. Don't look down the road and say we're going to get inflation. It's here, and you already started to see it. Who is going to get hurt the worst? The poor.
Yeah, and the point of that op-ed, is the ultra wealthy. I mean, they won't see any difference at all. I mean, they'll see rising stock prices.
The stock market will go up. The real estate holdings will go up.
As far as food and the basic life necessities, if they go,
they'll get by.
If they go up 25%, they're not going to notice the difference.
Yeah, but they'll eat steak twice a week instead of 4 times a week.
And unfortunately, the average middle-class American and depositors and bondholders are the people that suffer,
Right.
Because, interest rates non-existent for, depositors and bondholders, and the stock market's booming.
And remember, inflation is not the price of things going up; it's the dollar going down.
Right.
And so you've got to have more dollars to buy the same piece.
Lumber up 300% since last March.
And by the way, it's going to be interesting because you're going to see housing is going to decrease because it's just too expensive. You're going to say, I'm going to wait until that, the price of supplies go down. And
well, you saw the first slip in sales nationally for the last 4 weeks just happen. They slid back for the first time since like April of May of last year.
Which means existing housing is going to continue to go up in price. Josh, hang on. We've got to take a time out. When we come back, we'll get to your telephone call, 561-8255. News and Views continues right after this.
Break the chain. Eat local. Tiebreakers.
Hey, this is Hank Hinton back here at Full Service Flooring in Winterville. I'm here today with Corey Little, who's the operations manager here at Full Service Flooring. Corey's been here 6 months, but you've been in construction a long time. Tell us about what you do here at Full Service Flooring.
Yeah, I got over here about 6 months ago. I've been in construction for, like I said, a little over 20 years, and I've known Tim for a long time now, and he's brought me over here to see what new kind of things I can bring to the store and to our customers. And I'm in charge of scheduling, and I don't know what else. I'm in charge of everything. It seems like we work together as a team and try to pull it all together. I might do a measure one day and do a commercial floor the next day, but we just kind of all work together and pull it all together at one time.
So what's new in flooring? What is the hot new thing?
The hot new thing's LVP or LVT, depending on what you're looking for, which look you're looking for. It's a waterproof product. It's absolutely fantastic. You can't really beat it.
A lot cheaper than hardwoods?
It is definitely a cost-effective alternative to hardwoods, yes, sir.
So, Corey, how is business right now?
And business is good. Despite the pandemic, we're still seeing a lot of new customers in the store, and we get an opportunity to introduce our products in a lot of different situations right now.
Corey, you've got a lot of experience in the construction industry. How is that helping you here with people, helping people with flooring here at Full Service Flooring?
Sure. I try to take the experiences that I've gained over my time in construction to help apply that to the flooring, whether it be with what the structure is made out of, the subfloor that we're going over top of, or maybe even just how it coordinates with your kitchen cabinets in construction or in your bathroom and how the tub and everything all ties together.
And a customer can just come here and see you anytime?
Absolutely. We're here 6 days a week, and we just love to see a new customer in here anytime. They can always call us and schedule something with us so we can make sure we have our time allotted for them.
Corey, thank you so much. That's Corey Little here at Full Service Flooring. Come see these guys. They're on Tilco Drive in Winterville, 756-9308 and fullserviceflooring.com.
In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's Got to Be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products. Look for the Got to Be NC logo wherever you shop or eat, and you'll know you're getting a quality product grown, raised, caught, or made in North Carolina.
Back to News and Views. Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome back in. 18 minutes before the top of the hour. Josh from Bath has been patiently waiting. Josh, welcome in.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, guys. I am but your lowly man in the streets, as always. I heard what you were talking about with the morality issues, the fatherless homes, and I have to admit that struck a real chord. My own father is going through cancer right now, and just the idea of not having a father after having been raised with one, I tenderly regret, what all these people are going through as far as how they're being raised and the complications that come from that. And yet I can link that directly with the economic trouble that we're having now. If you were to bring up any one phrase that would be the Democrat motto, the leftist motto, that would link the two of those things, it is lie, cheat, steal. And that's the whole cause of all this.
Well,
they did everything they could to set that system up to try and take advantage of it politically, and it worked for them politically, but look at what it did to all those families and to those societies. And then as a result of those same policies, dovetailed by the same people, look at our economy crashing down around our heads.
And you've unpacked a lot of stuff there. I mean, first of all, the idea that you have a number of people who lead this country who want to create a problem so they can be the savior, so they can come in and solve the problem.
Exactly.
And look to us; we're going to take care of all your needs. Yeah. It's frustrating. Sorry, you say your dad's facing cancer, or he's.
Yeah, he's in the early stages of going through everything, and I won't get into that. But
well, we'll be praying for him. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate it. But to have had a father and to have grown up with a father, and to have these kids that, if for no other reason than the fact that they didn't have a father, that they're going through some of these issues, if people would step up and be a real man, a real father, or a real mother in these situations, and look beyond what is being handed to them and see where the lying, the cheating, and the stealing is taking place, the Democrats would no longer be in power, the problems would no longer be happening, and any problems we did have, we would be able to deal with together.
Right. Well, the interest is not in solving the problem. The interest is in keeping their position in the White House or the Senate or the Congress, and they're gonna take the easy way out. But it's not the easy way for the American people, especially the poor. It's immoral what they're doing, frankly. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate the call. Great insights. Fox News. You want to?
No, go ahead.
No.
I might get emotional, but no. I mean, seriously, there's some superheroes out there for moms, single moms.
Oh, absolutely.
And they absolutely have to kill themselves to be successful economically and to raise children. But to have a mother and father in a home, I look at myself. I wasn't raised in wealth, but I won the lottery by having just two parents that were just great moral people, and had a tough father, and he was tough, but
you don't regret it.
Don't regret it a bit.
You don't regret it.
And when I see,
who would you rather have? A tough father who would give you a whipping when you got out of line, or a gang that would shoot you in the stomach?
Honestly, there's times I wish he wasn't quite as tough, but I look back and he was he obviously was more right than wrong.
Well, listen, in today's world, what my dad did to me would qualified as qualified as child abuse, and I don't regret it one iota.
And there was a few times I didn't deserve it, but more times than not, I got away with more.
Well, I was going to say, the times when you didn't deserve it are making up for the times when you didn't get caught.
Absolutely.
Fox News is reporting Texas reported 0 deaths from COVID-19 on Sunday, just 2 months after Greg Abbott drew heat from the White House for rolling back business restrictions and lifting the state's mask mandate. Remember what Biden said 2 months ago?
Neanderthal.
Yeah.
He's an idiot. Excuse me.
He went after Texas. He went after Mississippi at the beginning of March for a march for the relaxing of the measures. And he said, this is Neanderthal thinking.
Yeah, and the Democrats, Joe Biden, all of them, and the news media was just all over Texas when the opening day of baseball season. Texas had full stadiums.
Yeah.
14 days, it's just going to be a mess.
Yep.
And the numbers keep dropping.
Yep.
So.
On top of that, today, Joe Biden highlighted for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic that cases of COVID-19 are down in all 50 states. But he also said unvaccinated Americans need to get their shots, and he warned, quote, those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price. I was talking to Benny during the break. Okay, what exactly do you mean by paying the price? Now, I think he wants to infer, he wants you to think what he is saying is, hey, you might get sick again. I'm looking at this statement and thinking, no, there's more to it than you might get sick again. Because quite frankly, and again, I'm not a doc, I'm not even a scientist, and I don't even play one on the radio. But I know enough to know that with so many diseases, if you get the disease or get the vaccine, they have the same effect. You have immunity in your system. Mm-hmm. So why doesn't Joe say, why don't you put it this way? If you don't already have the immunities, you'll pay the price. I mean, I would seriously think about getting the COVID shot if I didn't have already had COVID. I mean, I'm looking at it. I know some people have, but there's also people. In fact, you were telling me about a friend who got the vaccine and then ended up getting the disease or the virus.
Yeah, and Bill Maher.
Bill Maher?
Last week or this week I read, maybe it was over the weekend,
Yeah.
that he
the shortstop for the New York Yankees.
Yep.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So why exactly are you pushing the vaccine? I mean, why won't you include the people who have actually had COVID who carry the immunities in their body? And what do you mean by you'll end up paying the price?
I know, and what kills me, and I've talked about this before, no one in the news media will step up and say, well, Joe, a week or two before the election, you were not going to take Trump's rushed vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mind-boggling.
We've got to take another time out. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Anything could happen ever since I met you. Let me take you dancing.
Introducing Pepsi Mango.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Turn that old vehicle into cash when you cash in your trade-in at Greenville Toyota. Get up to 125% of book value for your vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Trade for Camry, $189 a month, now at Greenville Toyota.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
My name is Dr. Neeti Armistead, Chief Medical Officer for Vidant Health. The following simple steps will help keep you and your community safe. Stay home as much as possible, wear a mask when out in public, avoid large gatherings, practice social distancing, and wash hands often. It's also important not to delay needed care. Vidant has taken important steps to provide you and your family with a safe environment. Learn more about COVID-19 and Vidant's response. Call 252-847-8000 or visit vidanthealth.com/COVID-19.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Cash in your trade-in, now at Greenville Toyota. We need your vehicle, and it's never been worth more. Get cash for your vehicle today. Up to 125% of book value. Then trade into a new Corolla, $159 a month. Now at Greenville Toyota.
This one's for everyone who spends the amount of time it would take to watch a movie, agreeing on which movie to watch.
News and views.
He's kind of a diva. He's absolutely fascinating.
Ultimate gentleman spy. Irresistible to women, deadly to his enemies, a legend in his own time.
You won't believe what he's going to say next on Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Here's Tom Lamprecht.
Thank you. Welcome back in, Tom, Benny, and Clark. And Washington Examiner is reporting today, enthusiasm for Republicans in the 2022 midterm election outpaces Democrats by double digits. Maybe that's why Joe Biden wants to give away money to get the numbers back up for his party. While engagement has leveled off for both parties since the record high turnout of the 2020 race for the White House, a Democracy Corps survey found that 68% of Republicans remain engaged ahead of the 2022 election. Meanwhile, Democrats have seen their engagement slip to 57%, an 11-point cushion for the GOP. I'm not going to go overboard. It's a long way away till November of 2022. But they also have found out in this survey that they think there'll be a very heavy turnout in 2022. I would imagine. I would imagine there would be.
I don't know if you talked about last week, but I guess it's a conspiracy theorist in me. But last week you had 3 or 4 announcements with the mask, with the releasing the relieving the mask mandates and other restrictions. The Democrats were a little less tough on Israel. Little middle of the road more on.
I know where you're going with this. Go ahead. I did talk about it a little bit, but go ahead.
On economic issues, but I think some polling data came
out
last week.
They said, we got to have a little bit of good news, just a little bit.
Because I told somebody last week, I said, well, it's about the science. And so, what do you mean? I said, it's called political science. It's polling data.
Bingo. PJ Media is reporting that the serial riot instigator, Maxine Waters, we talked about this back when it happened, but apparently it's worse than we thought. She is, as a member of Congress, she is going to the air marshals. That is, air marshals are overseen by a federal agency, the Transportation Security Administration. They're in charge of the federal air marshals. Maxine Waters is taking these trips. She took the trip to Minnesota, because of the George Floyd and the Chauvin trial.
Yeah, what
she
got to
do
with Minnesota?
Nothing.
Yeah.
But she took air marshals off of high-risk flights in order for them to accompany her to Minnesota. But it wasn't just the air marshals. There was Capitol Police officers and there were Secret Service agents that had to go along with her to protect her. And this is the same woman that's all about defunding the police.
This is the ruling political class.
Unbelievable. Hey, thanks for being with us. Thanks for the phone calls. Our thanks to Sarah Newby. Look forward to June the 5th. President Trump coming to Greenville. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow at 5. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right.
Turn that old vehicle into cash when you cash in your trade-in at Greenville Toyota. Get up to 125% of book value for your vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Trade for Camry, $189 a month. Now at Greenville Toyota.
In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's got to be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products. Look for the Got to Be NC logo wherever you shop or eat, and you'll know you're getting a quality product grown, raised, caught, or made in North Carolina.
We're on location at Fabric and Home Furnishings, and I'm back with my friend Lisa Pendry. And Lisa's been telling me about all the great renovations that have been going on here in the store, and I've been looking around, and it looks fantastic. Tell us what you've done here.
Well, we've knocked some walls down, we've painted, we've added some new vendors, lots of new exciting things going on. So we're making room for everybody to get what they need to transform their homes.
Looks fantastic in here. Last time we talked, you were saying that you were able to deliver a lot faster than most other furniture stores. Is that still the case?
It is. It's changed a little bit, but we're still looking at around 8 to 10 week delivery, and we do sell our floor samples right off the floor.
All right, we always say that Fabric and Home Furnishings is more than just a fabric store, so tell us what the more is all about. What when people come in, what should they expect?
Well, we love to get to know our customers. I have the best crew I've ever had, and everybody on my team is an interior designer. So we offer in-home design service, which we always have, but now they can each come out to your home after they work with you in here, figure out what's going on in your residence or your commercial property to pull it together and help you make everything beautiful.
You got great folks here.
I do.
I can tell you, I haven't gotten to know them. It's like a family when you come in here, and everybody gets along well, and you can tell that these guys and gals really know what they're talking about when it comes to interior design.
They do, and that's really what makes us different. We offer complete in-home design service. We don't charge a by-the-hour fee. It's a flat one-time fee. We work with you in here, in your home, in your business, and help pull everything together.
All right, it's more than just a fabric store. Fabric and Home Furnishings in Arlington Village. Come see this lady. She's fantastic. Fabric and Home Furnishings. Come see the renovations here in Arlington Village. And thank you for the visit today.
Thank you, Henry.
All right, you got to come see what they've done in the store here on Arlington Boulevard in Arlington Village.
Cash in your trade-in now at Greenville Toyota. We need your vehicle, and it's never been worth more. Get cash for your vehicle today, up to 125% of book value. Then trade into a new Corolla, $159 a month. Now at Greenville Toyota.